While the conflict with Iran pushed Israel's war on Gaza out of the headlines, debate over U.S. support for Israel resurfaced on Wednesday. The House of Representatives voted on a measure to cut off aid to Israel with an amendment to block more than $3 billion in annual security assistance.
While the final vote failed, unfortunately, it is still a huge success, and let me tell you why. 103 Democrats, the majority of Democrats for the very first time in these halls of Congress, voted to stop sending money to bomb women and children, stop sending military funding to Bibi Netanyahu. And that is major.
The support willing to block Israeli aid reflects a growing public opinion shift in the U.S. against the Benjamin Netanyahu government. While most analysts say the military cooperation between the U.S. and Israel will continue, even President Donald Trump seems to have toned down his support for his ally.
I was a little bit perturbed at his constantly fighting with Lebanon. You know, at some point I said, Bibi, we got to stop this. We got to stop it.
Vice President J.D. Vance says U.S. military responses to Iranian attacks in the Strait of Hormuz will continue to be strong. But in a podcast interview, Vance said there are some in Israel with a different motive when criticizing attempts by the U.S. to negotiate with Iran.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there have been people within the Israeli government who are trying to, actually shift us away from that policy because they want to continue the military campaign.
A sentiment apparently shared by Donald Trump.
The Vice President, J.D. Vance, went on this podcast with Joe Rogan yesterday, talked about Israel, in which he said that there are some people within their system that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt who are manipulating and trying to change American public opinion to keep the war going on indefinitely. Does the president agree with that statement?
I think the president would certainly agree that, yes, foreign countries certainly do try to persuade American public opinion. There's no doubt about that. I think it's just a basic fact.
Criticism of Israel by U.S. political leaders marks a dramatic shift among some lawmakers and a split at the top levels of the Democratic Party. The amendment that sought to cut off funding to Tel Aviv included a 10-year memorandum of understanding that Congress passed a decade ago when only 4 lawmakers voted against it. Craig Boswell, TRT World, Washington.